Hi girlies, today I'm going to be doing a video kind of just like running through one of my really creative looks and kind of like my creative process behind it. It's just going to be like a chit chat kind of video while I do this interesting kind of look. You guys probably saw it in the thumbnail, but yeah, let's get right into it. I don't want to waste any time today. This probably was going to be a long one, so get ready for that. But yeah, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for leaving me on the love on my last video. I'm really excited to continue doing this, so. I went ahead and zoomed you guys in a little bit. I'm just going to start with the base of my look, which means I'm going to be starting with gluing my brows down. Also, I'm going to mention that some of this video will probably be a voiceover, and some of it will probably just be talking live like this, because since this look is probably going to be really long, me talking through the whole thing will make it like a long time. So, I just like to start with a really hefty amount of glue. I use the Elmer's glue stick and the purple one, obviously, and then I go in with my gross little glue comb. I only use this for when I glue down my brows, and I just swipe right up into the hairs and press them really firmly to my skin. Also, if you guys can hear any noises in the background, that is my kitty. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you probably don't know about Timmy, but I recently just got a new kitty, and he is very crazy. So if you hear him in the background, that's him playing or running around like a crazy person. After I glue down the first layer and get that like really nice and tight to my skin, I just go in with another layer, pressing really firmly now with the glue stick, just upwards, no more circular motions. Now I'm just gonna let those air dry and do their thing, and I'll probably add one more layer, but I'm gonna skip to them having powder on so I can show you guys how I cover them with foundation. Okay, so I just went ahead and powdered them. I did one more layer of glue, just pressing them straight up like I showed you guys before. I don't like to do a lot of layers because I find that it looks really chunky and like gross. And now I'm just gonna go in with the Milk Makeup Flex foundation stick. If I'm going for like more skin tone, or I just need like a base to my brows, this is my favorite. It's really creamy, it covers really nicely, and it just looks really nice. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like there isn't gonna be texture. Most of the times when you cover your brows, there's still gonna be texture. Like honestly, there's a brow under there. So don't be hard on yourself if it is not flawless the first time, because a lot of the times it's not. I don't like to blend out too much on the actual brow for the first layer. I more or less just like blend around the edges and get it more seamless to blend into my skin, and then I will go in with a concealer or foundation and do the rest of my face. I am going to do the rest of my foundation with the Milani Screen Queen Natural Finish Foundation. I wear the shade 150 Cool Shell, and I like this foundation on the regular, but with the look I have in mind today, I don't need the most crazy base, because we're going to be going in with colors on top of my face. So I just want something that's going to even out my skin tone and give a nice base for all the colors I'm going to put on top. I'm going to show you guys how I do my looks, where I just go in with like colors and blend them on my face and make them look real gorgeous. Here I'm just going in with more foundation, and then I go in with my concealer and just really finalize my base and get it as even as possible. We're going to be putting color on top, so it doesn't have to be perfect. So with a lot of my creative looks, I usually have some sort of like kind of system or like roadmap in my head of what I'm going to do. But with these looks, usually I have like a few things I want to do, and the rest I kind of just go from there. Like when I started thinking of this look, I know I really want to place blue just like across my nose bridge, like in this eye area, and kind of like create this sort of, I don't know, like I want this look to be more like kind of like pixie, fairy related. I want it to be very magical, whimsical, all sorts of things. So we're just gonna start with the blue, and we're gonna place down colors from there. Right now I'm just taking a light blue from the Kaleidoscope Dreams palette by Tiffany and Makeup Obsession. You can find it on Instagram. I always link it in my stuff, and it will be linked down below too. I don't know about linked, but it'll be tagged. So from there, I'll usually make the eyes like a contrasting kind of color. I'm gonna wait to do the eyes, and I'm gonna kind of move around my face first and mess with some other colors first and like start placing some down, and then we'll come back and do the eyes and we'll slowly tie it all together. So I've started laying down some purples and some pinks to give a more varied color palette. Also, as you can tell, my hair is already kind of gross today, so I don't care if I get this in there because wash day is tomorrow. But yeah, I'm starting to just kind of sculpt out my face how I normally would with like contours, but instead I'm going to make it more alienistic and more exaggerated. Like I'm really going in and like sculpting out my skull and my cheekbones because I want this to be very, very whimsical. So I just went ahead and added some yellow, a bright yellow. This is the Sugar Pill Buttercupcake yellow onto my cheeks. I really like to use bright colors to highlight and make my face more prominent and like stand forward more. Next up, considering I have blue here and I have yellow here, not a lot of colors will look really nice blended between those. So a lot of the times when I'm doing looks like this, I lay down my colors and then I kind of go from there to pick what goes in between each one. So with that, I'm going to take a hint from the Creepy Cute palette from Suede Cosmetics, and I'm just going to slowly start packing this in and kind of keep this little like under eye bag moment I have going on. Because I plan to put a different shadow down here, but I want to connect this yellow and this blue and start giving it some blend to make it look more seamless and more connected. I'm going to go ahead and do one eye off camera, kind of just to see where I'm at with what I want to do, and then I'll come back and I'll walk you guys through my process with that. Okay guys, I went ahead and did this eye off camera and kind of sculpted it into the rest of the face that we've done so far. So now I'm going to show you how I did that on this eye. Starting off, I'm just taking like an orange and a peach shade and I'm running that right up against the blue. First, eye primer. Next, I'm just going to be going in a really deep blue, ocean blue kind of shade and just kind of start outlining the wing shape that I sort of created over here. Next, I'm taking the pink shade from before and I'm just going to pack those right in between the pink and the blue. Kind of give it more of a cohesive blend, turning it into more purples, etc. Then also taking a purple. Now we're just going to go into the light blue shade that I put here and just start kind of blending out this sharp defined wing and really blending it upwards into my temple area. Now going with that same blue that I used to define this outer area, I'm just going to start taking that on my lower lash line. Now we're going to take this gorgeous teal shade and just pack that underneath my eye. So when it starts to look like this and it's defined but blended, that's when you're basically done with the base of the eye. All the colors are laid out, you have your shape. And I'm kind of just blending all of the colors together now and just making it look really gorgeous, and then we're going to go in and cut the crease. So now that I've cleaned off my lid with concealer, this is how I like to normally do my cut creases. I like to clean the space before I put concealer on because it just helps make the concealer get less messy and just like full of other colors. Now that I've cut my crease and I've blended out the edge of the concealer and the shadow, I'm just going to be going in with this green shade and packing it on, bringing it about like middle of my eye. I like to leave room to do multiple colors. I love doing creases like this and creative looks and also like normal, like fun, everyday kind of makeup. Now that I've packed the yellow all on there, we're gonna go in and define this kind of inner crease area that I've created with the yellow and just make it look a bit more like blended and seamless. So we're gonna be going back in with that dark blue from before and just kind of like sculpting the shape around it. Now the next step is to add all of the glitter and the sparkle on the lid. My first product I'm going into is the loose eyeshadow by Sugar Pill. This is from the 10th anniversary collection and this is the shade Flora. And I'm just going to be packing this on top of the green with my finger. The next one that's mostly the glitter is going to be the Slayfire Cosmetics Glitter Gel in the shade Alert. As you can see, it's this bright like neon yellow, and I'm just going to be packing that onto the yellow and a little bit onto the green. Now the final little step for the eye is the white liner, kind of defining it and giving it more dimension and interesting kind of shape. I don't know why I do a liner like this sometimes. I just find that it like spices up a look a little bit more. So here I'm just doing my eyeliner, as I said before. Just take it slow, just be patient with yourself. Doing eyeliner this can be very tedious and very time consuming and also very scary to a person that doesn't do close-up graphic liner, but just take your time. Try it not over eyeshadow at first. It'll help you get the hang of it and it will help you like get more like flow with the brush and how to handle it. I went ahead and just connected the forehead. I'll probably add some sort of like cute object there or like something to tie it all together with the eyes. And I also went ahead and started defining my jaw because now we're going to start filling in this area and making it all really cohesive and really like magical. And while I just start doing that, I'm going to talk about my creative process and like what inspires me, etc. Because you guys always ask me this all the time and I've answered it a couple times on my lives. But when it comes to like what inspires me, I'm really honestly always inspired by some new things. Like I'm always, my inspiration is always coming from just like different things, I would say. I love like fantasies of like magical like fairy tales and stuff like that. Like that is one of the big things that I feel like really inspires me. I love just looking like out of this world with my looks, so if I can achieve that just by like putting eyeshadows on my face, it's like one of my favorite things. But in a more like sense that you guys might understand, things that really inspire me are like music, nature, other people, like artists, makeup artists, like painters, etc. Like it kind of comes from everything. And I find that just like a lot of time like going on like walks and like kind of just like breathing or like chilling out is when I find a lot of my ideas. Like I have a notepad on my phone that is like just full of like a couple words or like possibly a full idea for a look or like just even like words that like made me think of like something that I wrote down so I can remember it for later. Because obviously I can't do like every look that I think of in a day. So it kind of just like happens occasionally and I'll like write them down and then I'll go back to the notepad and like do them when I feel like I want to, you know? Before I start filling more colors in, I really want to go and define my nose and then possibly my lips, and that will kind of just determine what I do with the rest of this area by my cheekbones and like the area around my lip and my nose. I find that's a really great area to kind of do. As you've noticed, I really focus on like main points of my face first, so like the cheekbones, the eyes, the contours. I really like to sculpt my face when I do these kind of looks and then go in and just kind of fill the rest in. It's kind of like those fill in the blanks, kind of like connect by color sort of things. Like that's kind of what I see my face as a lot of the time when I do these looks. So I'm just gonna start by going in and like defining my nose and giving it more of a contour, etc. Okay, so I know we didn't have footage of the nose. My camera died and I wasn't aware, but I'm back and I've highlighted a little bit and I've done my nose. It is in my TikTok video that will be up on my Instagram if you want to see the tutorial of like the little nose part. It's kind of not that complicated, and I'll probably end up doing it in a future video too. But we're just gonna move on and start doing the rest of the face. Hopefully my battery doesn't die again. I didn't charge it fully because I'm impatient, but we'll see. So yeah, wish me luck. We're gonna start moving on to the mouth and cheekbone, not cheekbone, lower face section. Here I just started mapping out the lower face area. I started by doing the lips because I wanted the lips to be another main focus of the look. So I start with just a light lavender lipstick. This one's from Candy Cosmetics. And then I start going in and highlighting basically underneath the cheekbone, basically to make the cheekbone of the purple look more defined and more sculpted out. I wanted to like give that dimension look. And then I use green to blend it with the blue. And here I'm just filling in the the chin area with blue, same blue that we used on our forehead. Going in with more pink, purple lipsticks. I decided I wanted to make the whole lip purple. At first I didn't know if I was going to make it purple or not, so I kind of just like guessed and jumped around. And then now I'm going in with a deeper purple to give the lip more depth, and I'm going to do my kind of like classic lollipop lip where it blends out from the inside and gets more fluffy to the edges. Okay, you guys, so the face is basically complete besides lashes, highlight, and just like a few extra little steps. I'm going to go ahead and do some highlighting now, and then I'm going to cut, and I'll come back with the complete look, and I'll probably do some detailing along my collarbones to really tie the whole look together, and I'll have the wig, and the whole fantasy will be there. So I'll see you guys soon. Alright girlies, that is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me today and watching me create this really interesting kind of avant-garde alien-esque kind of look. Obviously inspired by fairies and aliens. I hope you guys would enjoy me seeing like my creative process of how I do looks like this and how I kind of go about it. And if you guys liked the video, you can leave a like, you can subscribe, and you can leave a comment and tell me how much you loved it. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye!